Welcome, guys. I'm waiting on someone to come on. Hey, Wolf. What's up? Just waiting on my interview at 8:30. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, I got a special guest tonight, guys. I'm going to interview him tonight. But how's everybody doing tonight? Hey, about down time, darling. Glad you made it. Hey, Papa. The guy above, T.C. Wilson, tonight at 8:30. I did. It's up above. Hey, Eli. It's up above, sweetie. Okay, Papa. There's a link, TC.
Hello, Patty.
Hello, welcome to my channel.
Well, sounded real good there, and I'm glad that we got a good connection. I hope I don't get bumped here. StreamYard for some reason just does not like AT&T.
Right.
So, are you ready for about an hour and a half of dad jokes and boring trivia?
Oh, I'm used to these interviews. Hey, it's all good. I mean, I'm kind
Well,
of shy sometimes, but I'll be all right.
oh, the way you were at the clown cottage with Omar and meeting Jody Dean and I think you meet James that time too?
Now, I didn't meet James for fame, but I did meet Omar and Jody.
Yeah, Jody is good people, and Omar. I mean, hey, if he has to wear lead shoes because he floats off the ground, he's so nice.
Oh yeah, Omar's the greatest. He's a good guy. Yeah.
He he sure is. Has a
Besides,
million
Jody likes
iron.
to scare the shit out of somebody sometimes.
Well, have you seen what he's done to the cottage?
Do what now?
Have you seen what he's done to the cottage?
Oh my God, yes, he did an awesome job.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's just temporary. Keep in mind, all that stuff is going to go into his new studio once they get the farmhouse finished built.
Are you serious? Omar's gonna do that?
Yeah, Omar's, that farmland that he purchased.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where their new house is going to be.
Are you kidding me?
Oh yeah, dead serious.
Oh wow.
In fact, that puts them only about I think an hour and a half away from Jody.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean that's nice because it gets both of them out of trouble and away from the politic and of the old area down there around Spring Hill.
Yeah, I know.
I mean that was so darn sad when somebody started causing trouble down there. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I mean, I'm talking out of school here, but you know, hey, as far as Omar and Jody are concerned, as water under the bridge, and they've done so great.
Well, of course.
You know, I mean, Jody. I mean, look at what he's doing just today. I mean, he opened up his new game room. You know, he's eventually all that stuff is eventually going to go into. He's going to have like a special store that's going to be half museum and half sales. You know, where he's doing all these, you know, the vintage video games and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's pretty darn good. I mean, you always need to keep change going. You know, and I like how you do your thing because you're always changing up. You know,
Yeah.
and I'm one of those people that, you know, I'll cheerlead anybody that's, you know, doing positive things for people, you know.
So is that how you found me through Omar College?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I started watching your videos, and then I started watching, you know, some of the others, you know, like Rob at Michigander Man,
Yeah.
and you know, and the Wolf and Hound and Raptor, and you know, James, of course, and Chelsea. Sad about them splitting, but you know, I think she's doing real good for herself, going into that van life thing. That, you know, she's going to go cross country. I mean, both of them needed change. You know,
Well, I appreciate you liking my channel, though. I appreciate that.
well, you work hard. You know, I mean, do you consider this a hobby or do you consider it your business?
Um. Well, it's actually my dream. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
To be monetized and just do something I like to do.
Sure, sure.
It gets me out of the house sometime and do things. And
Hmm.
um, I'm gonna be moving to Pennsylvania soon, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of
Hmm.
investigation, like at the Hillview Manor and
Sure.
at the Penhurst State School, and
And also keep in mind some of those places that Yasko pokes around in down there in Pennsylvania.
yeah,
You know, he's been to that the Lost Pennsylvania Turnpike.
yeah.
You know, there's a section of 10 miles of road that they literally took off of the interstate system, and it's complete with tunnels and the whole bit. You know,
Oh, really?
yeah, creepy as all get out. That one town in there, I forget the name of the place, but it's been on fire since the 1950s. You know,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Well, they had a coal mine. Lightning struck a coal pile, and the fire eventually got underneath the town. They had to evacuate the entire town.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah, and that's just, you know, scratching the surface over there. So you're going to have a lot of fun there.
Oh, I know Pennsylvania is one of the most haunted states there is,
Hmm.
and we already got a lot of plans when we move out there. We're gonna be going everywhere.
Yeah, you're going to have family with you, right?
We're gonna go to Pittsburgh. We're gonna go to Steady
Hmm.
Bird. Um, let's see, Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh,
Hmm.
uh, Steady Bird. There's
Well,
all kind of places, man.
oh sure, you got Lancaster County, which is just north and west of Philly.
Oh, okay.
That's where most Amish people live. Uh,
I heard about that.
yeah, you remember the cable show called The Amish Mafia?
Yeah.
That's where it is.
Oh, wow.
Hmm. And you know Angelo, exploring with Angelo.
Yeah.
He sidekicks with Mo Sargi.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's moving to Pennsylvania too. I mean, if you want somebody to get under the wing, that man knows his stuff. You know, I'd be under his learning tree in 5 minutes. You know.
Right. You seem like you're very intelligent. I know that.
Well, if I run off at the mouth, that's what I do for a living. But rein me back. I'll give you short answers whenever you need. I'm a
Hey, you seem
storyteller.
like I'm glad you came on my channel. You seem cool.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm a storyteller from the get go. That's what I do. But one of the things that I like most of all is making a positive difference for somebody every day. And you're doing
Right,
that.
right. Yeah.
And you're doing that for me because the last few days I've been kind of cooped up. We've got really nasty weather in the upper Midwest, and things are going to go south on us in the next 48 hours.
Oh wow,
You know,
yeah.
yeah, we're going to get 9 inches of snow and 60-mile-an-hour
What?
winds on New Year's night, and that's all.
Wow.
And just yesterday, we were supposed to only get like a glazing of black ice. No, we got 5 inches of snow along with the ice.
Right.
So a fellow that broke his back, just over a year ago, I shattered two backbones when I went out onto the driveway of the security high rise that I'm living at. I went tail over tea kettle, and I got such PTSD off of that I can't even go outside right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
So.
when I start the interview, I'm going to ask you to say say your name and what you tell me
Hmm.
all, somewhat about you and stuff,
Hmm.
and then we go from there.
Whatever you want to ask, if I say if there's something that is private, I'll let you know.
Oh, that's I don't ask personal questions, sweetie,
That's cool.
unless
I'm
they
about
give me permission. Other than that, I don't ask personal questions.
right. I'm about as mysterious as an open door. So just
Yeah,
poke your head in.
yeah, yeah. Like I said, if it's personal, I don't expect them
Hmm.
to say nothing because we're
Hmm.
on live. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
I have respect for people's wishes.
So where are you at? Are you in Ohio?
I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Yes, for now.
Ah, for some reason I pegged your accent because for some reason Ohioans, especially anything south of Columbus, they seem to have thicker accents than people in like West Virginia. Which sounds silly, but it's like, well, most of the people that settled in Kentucky and West Virginia, they came from Ohio.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's where the southern, quote unquote, southern accent came from.
Yeah.
you know and here I'm in northwest Illinois, so I anything north of Springfield and west of Chicago, we have, oh yeah, sure, you betcha, we have the Minnesota accent,
I,
and then anything south of that, southern Illinois is called Little Egypt because of Cairo, Illinois. uh, red
right.
Red Cairo, most of the people there settled from Tennessee and Kentucky into Illinois. And
Oh
so
wow.
anybody down there, they have this kind of accent. And if you don't, you're a total rube, you know?
Hmm.
And believe me, I had to have an English to Southern dictionary in order to order something out of McDonald's in Vandalia, Illinois. Okay,
Yeah.
so you'll get stories like that when we talk.
That's fine. So you found me through Omar, which is a while back.
A while back.
Um,
Hmm.
that was ooh, I can't remember, about a year ago.
About a year and a half, I think.
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
Yeah, because you were
Yeah,
you were at
Omar,
the
man.
cottage for
Huh?
you were there for a couple 3 weeks, weren't you?
I was there for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I was. The second time I was there for a week. The third time I was there for,
Mm-hmm.
I believe, 8 days. And then the fourth time I was there, I believe, 7. And the last time I was there was 9.
Oh my goodness. Now, did you stay also at the haunted trailer that he has?
The what?
Did you stay at that teardrop trailer that he has there just up the way?
Yeah. That was the very first place I stayed at was the camper. And then the second time I went, I stayed at the college. And then the third and the fourth, and I believe the fifth was at the camper.
Gotcha. For me though, between the two, I think the creepier is the camper because you get more rattling and stuff going on with the ghost there.
Oh, trust, trust me, I was there quite a few times to know. Every time I go to the camper, I either hear knocking or sometimes I hear tapping. And I kid you not, the very first time I met Omar, the very first time I was very nervous when I was though, but
Oh yeah.
when I very first met him, I was very nervous, but I got to know him
Mm-hmm.
personally. But I kid you not, he was standing there fixing the stove for me,
Mm-hmm.
and out of nowhere, a freaking big black figure, tall as hell, was standing right
Mm-hmm.
behind him.
Oh no.
I'm not
Now,
sure what he wanted or what was going on. All as I know is that he was standing right behind Omar.
and did Omar notice?
I said, Omar, because he was fixing the stove. I said,
Mm-hmm.
Omar, unfortunately, you have a black figure behind you. And he said, what does it look like? I said, it's really tall.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I've been there long enough to know I believe that he has a demon. No, I know he does. In one of my videos that I did
Mm-hmm.
at Town College,
Right.
you will hear a little girl giggle, and then you will hear a demon say, go, go.
Right.
He has a demon in his Town College as well, besides,
Mm-hmm.
the Native Americans. Um,
Yeah.
but both his places are haunted, but I think the college is
Mm-hmm.
more active, more, you know what I mean? Like more scary.
Right.
Because I got
Well.
touched 3 times, man. I was like, holy shit. Yeah, I'm
well.
planning on going back down there again in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Um, hopefully this time with my daughter, which is Sarah, the one's on here now,
Okay.
and her fiance. I'm hoping we go. We're supposed to go to the Mail and Door and Bed and Breakfast again.
Oh, that's going to be great.
Yeah, I've already been to Mail and Door and Bed and Breakfast twice. This
Mm-hmm.
will be the third time.
That's going to be awesome. And this time around, maybe talk to the owner or the manager, whoever's available, and see if you can get that backstory because that's the one thing that's been missing is the history of that place.
The history of Mail Door?
Oh yeah, there it goes back a little bit further than a lot of people think.
Oh, so she didn't tell me exactly how far, because I remember she told me
Mhm.
the history of it.
Oh yeah, I mean she probably goes back to the Civil War and and maybe even
Oh,
into the
well.
1820s and stuff. But remember that the Seminole Wars down there were in the 18 teens, right after the War of 1812.
Right.
And so that whole area down there was a battleground. Okay.
Oh,
And
wow.
so, oh yeah, there's a lot of Native American. When we get to the interview, ask me about the word psychometry, not psychiatry. Okay, psychometry is the psychic ability to know the history or the backstory of a given place or a given object. I have that ability.
Really?
Yes,
Okay, well, I will do that. As a matter of fact, the interview starts right now, so
there we
it's
go.
8:30. Um, everybody, I want you guys to welcome my special guest, an awesome guy, in fact. Welcome to my channel, TC Wilson.
Hello, hello,
And
everybody.
everybody, let's welcome him to the interview tonight. So TC, tell me all about you. Everything that you can about yourself.
Sure. My name is T.C. Wilson. I am legally named Tim Wilson, but too many people think I am the recently passed famous country comedian. And Tim Wilson, the comedian, is famous for songs like Church League Softball Fist Fight. Well, I've been in a Church League Softball Fist Fight, but I can't sing one. Okay. So that's why I go by TC to kind of put a little distance. I am a longtime local radio DJ. I have over 30 years experience. I went from spinning records, literal actual vinyl, to the digital age. I was at the big switchover in '08, and that was a unique experience. I've had the pleasure of interviewing everybody from everyday people like the fine host here, Peppermint Patty. She's been a good friend on social media, especially Twitter with me. And she's always asked me questions like, why do you call yourself the yodeling mime? And I said, well, because Twitter won't call me loud mime. And I always put my tongue in my cheek because, if you picture a yodeling mime, what's happening there? It's a very quiet flapping of the jaw. And that's me.
Right.
So, Patty, you had been asking just before the show, where did I get my interest in the paranormal, and how
Yes,
did I
sir.
come? How I came across you?
Yes.
And it was the great visit that you had, and we'll recount for the audience when you had the great stay for the very first time with Omar from Omar Gosh TV. Omar is a fantastic leader in the paranormal community, especially here at YouTube. He is a very kind man. The good book says, you will know the person by their work that they do and the faith that they show by that work. And he's a very faithful friend. And he will give you the shirt off his back. And if he can, he'll give you his back. And the friendship that developed between you, Patty, and Omar was something special. It got even better when you got to know Jody Dean from Hunting the Dead. And I just put a grin on my face every time you were on because, you were as much a fan as now a colleague of those two. And they really much benchmark the good things about the paranormal investigators on YouTube.
Well, thank you.
And I, one thing I've also wanted to compliment you on is you worked very hard to get where you are now. You're so close to getting to that level, that milestone of 1,000 subscribers. I encourage everybody, get the word out, help people like Patty get those subscribers. I'm already subscribed to her. It's one of those things where you're not just giving a help up, you're giving a hand over to people because we're one community. So if I'm watching, say, our friends Omar or Jody, I notice people that are regulars there. And when I go to their channels, they might have 50 people, 5,000 people, but they are always talking about people like Patty. So I encourage everybody, go to Wolf and Hound, go to Raptor, go to Michigander Man, go to the Back Rican. These are all people that are worthy of a look-see. And I encourage everybody to do as successfully as what Patty's doing. And it's an ongoing process.
Thank you.
Now, you had a question for me before the show started, too, about where I got my interest in the paranormal.
Yes, yes, yes.
Um, Patty, I have to admit something. I was born that way. Okay,
Right.
like some people have the the little party trick where they're double jointed or something like this. It's just something I do. You know, I don't tout it. I don't ballyhoo it. I don't say, "Oh, I'm the great psychic so and so." No, I just know things, and when I experience them, I can then use the scientific method of debunking everything I can to try to explain, oh, is that a ghost? Oh, is that a black figure? Oh, is that a repeating haunt? Is that an EVP? If there's, they call it Occam's razor or the Sherlock Holmes principle. You eliminate everything that's unnecessary, then the bit of truth that is left behind, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, that's what it is. So if that black figure that you had mentioned that was standing behind Omar when he was fixing the stove at the clown cottage for you, okay, you knew what it was. Omar was busy, so he didn't know what it was.
Right.
Okay. And so it took you to let him know there's something wrong. And good for you for having that same ability to see the difference. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. I
And
definitely did tell him. I wanted him to know that
mhm,
there was something behind him. You know what I mean? It didn't even feel, to me, it didn't feel good. It felt,
mhm,
because I'm very sensitive and I can feel their energy.
mhm,
And the energy I felt was not, was not cool. To me, it was a demon.
right. And, there's been times where he's run live streams from that location, also from the camper that he has at that resort. And every time he does something, you see something moving in the background. There is something there, or in the case of the cottage, more than one something there that either is associated with the clowns themselves, that collection of the creepy haunted clowns, or
Right?
that black figure that you saw, and they will turn something, they will pull something. Uh, if they have to, they will come right up behind you, like they did with James here a few months ago or a few
Okay.
weeks ago, and he was doing his live, and somebody breathed right down his neck, and he was the only person in the cottage.
Yeah,
You know.
the clown cars is more spookier, more scarier than the camper. I mean, I'm not
Hmm.
saying that the camper is not haunted because it is, but
Hmm.
the clown car, like though, on the other hand, yeah, that's scary shit.
Absolutely.
I
I
was in
can.
there for 7 days. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
the second day I was there, okay, I was fine, but after that, I started getting nauseated,
Hmm.
dizzy spells, like not real bad one, but kind of little one. And
Hmm.
I was just felt like I was sad, like I was depressed or something.
Right.
And it felt like what I felt was like something bad happened there, like a bad accident or something tragic that happened in that house with somebody, and I felt it.
Absolutely. In fact, I wanted to let you know, Patty, that one of the experiences that I had, uh, as I mentioned, I'm a longtime radio DJ. After I worked for the Cumulus Media Group, as the second largest radio network in
Oh
North
wow!
America, and I worked for them for almost a decade. And at a place we call it the Rock and Roll Mansion, and it's located across the river from where I live.
Wow!
And this is a very famous mansion because it used to be a funeral home.
Oh wow!
Yes, 5 radio stations packed into a former funeral home, complete
Oh
with
Lord!
complete with embalming room and the casket elevator, and things were going on constantly at that location. My experiences there were so intense that a person heard me talk about it one night on the air, because they heard something, and I'm the only person usually in the building during the overnight hours that I was working. I was both a live person from midnight until 5 in the morning, and I was also the morning preparation person for 4 radio shows in the morning. So I was very busy. Okay, I didn't have time for ghosts or anything like that. So when something happened, it had to be very noticeable and right in your face.
Well, tell
And
me what happened then. What happened that you
well,
said they had to be in your face, right? So what
mhm.
happened?
For instance, there was a time where I was working, and the production of the printer that was making the morning material for each of those radio stations was printing away in the hallway in the front of the building, and I worked on the side of the building, very large area. And so I came over, checked to make sure everything was printing just fine, and all of a sudden I feel like I'm not alone. And I look over towards the front door where the reception desk is, and there's a lady standing right in the middle of the lobby looking at me, and she's dressed in white. And she looked about maybe 20, 22 years old, had blue eyes, freckles. She had hair hanging on either side of her head, and what looked like I called it a doily. It was kind of a bonnet, and it was kind of on the back of her head, but kind of framed it, like a little halo. And sure enough, what happened was I looked at her. She was casting a shadow. I thought it was somebody that just had walked in. Maybe she was part of the daytime staff or something. And I said, "Hello, what are you doing here?" And because it's like 2 in the morning, and she just looked at me and then looked over at where the reception desk was, which was to my right around a corner, and she walked right into that little cubicle there. And I went, wait, 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 wait. And I left the printer, and I stepped the 20 feet up to the corner. There was no exit out of that cubicle except where she had walked in. I entered that entry. There was nobody there.
Oh wow.
And that was just one time of several times I met this lady in white. And it turned out that the family that ran the funeral home back in the 18 teens, the last major flu epidemic, the last major pandemic, was called the Spanish flu. And it hit that town. It's called Davenport, Iowa. It hit that town with such force that over 10,000 people died in 6 months from the Spanish flu. That funeral home was so packed with the lost that they had to literally stack them until they could get them processed and buried.
Wow.
They lost 10% of their population, and half of those were Germans. This was the second largest German city in the entire United States in the 19 teens. And so, having lost that many German, immigrants, this was a very powerful, tragedy that occurred. What I was able to find out is that the family that owned that funeral home lost a daughter to the Spanish flu. That's
Oh, wow.
who I was seeing.
Wow.
That experience, a friend of mine let me know that they had heard me talk about it on the air, and it is the first episode of Paranormal Night Shift, which you can look up on the internet, and it's related to the paranormal hospital shows and stuff from the Travel Channel. And so,
Wow.
yeah. So a couple of years ago, they flew me up to near the Toronto area, and I was able to become part of their pilot episode.
Wow. Okay, so I remember what you said to me earlier.
Hmm.
Um. Oh. Um. Something about Ripley. Believe it or not.
Yep.
The swap of ghost shows.
Hmm.
Um. Tell me all about that. About the
Hmm.
podcast, which you already said that.
Sure.
Fact Man, Mistress, and YouTube and speakers and all that. Tell me all about
Absolutely.
that.
What Patty is asking about for the audience benefit is partly how I got into the paranormal when I was a kid. Like I said, I had that ability to experience things, and I could see and react to things that were going on around me that other people couldn't see, and they just thought I was a weird kid. But what happened was, is I became fascinated by strange stuff. Like the sideshow freaks at the circus, that kind of thing. The bearded lady or the crocodile man or something like this. And it was like it turned out that several of the famous Ripley's Believe It or Not people came from around my state or my area. For instance, the world's crookedest street is not the one that is in San Francisco. That's the tallest one, but it's not the most twisty. The crookedest street in the entire world is a short brick laid street between two churches going down a bluff side in Burlington, Iowa. It's about 40 minutes south of where I live, and it's called Snake Alley. It turns further in a shorter distance than the Nob Hill area in San Francisco. I have driven down it 3 times, and I can tell you it's an adventure every time. Another one is the heaviest man that ever lived was from Monticello, Illinois, about 2 hours southwest of me, near Springfield, and his name was Evan Hughes. He weighed 1,669 pounds when he died, and he had a further Guinness Book of World Record that he had the loudest voice of any human in history. That when he shouted, people could hear him literally 8 miles away in the next town.
Wow.
Now, there was a claim for a gentleman. I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Craig. He weighed just about 30 pounds heavier than Mr. Hughes, and he lived in Clinton, Iowa, which is 35 miles north of my location. And he was so big that he could not be removed from the apartment bedroom where he lived.
Oh
And
wow.
he literally spent the last 2 years of his life trapped in an 8 by 8 bedroom that he almost completely filled. And he weighed, if I remember right, when he died, he was 1,979 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was only like 42.
And what happened to him?
He had a heart attack.
Oh man.
Yeah. And with Hughes, yeah, he was healthy as a horse. Mr. Hughes was the guy from Monticello. The only problem is that he walked everywhere, and he got caught in a heavy rainstorm, and he caught pneumonia, and that's what took him.
Oh my God, that's sad.
Yeah. A guy named Robert Thompson. He was the largest, tallest man in the world. He was from East St. Louis, Illinois, just right across from the Golden Arch there at the gateway to the west. And he was in 1922. He died very young himself. He was only like 24, but
Oh wow.
he was 8 foot 11.5 inches.
Wow. That's
Hmm.
sad.
Yeah,
That
but
makes you
for
want to cry.
well,
Ah,
I look at each of those men and their stories, and many others. Their Ripley had a unique ability to see the human part of those stories. And I'm glad that the tradition has gone on where you can go to, like Memphis, Tennessee, Knoxville, Atlanta, Niagara Falls, New York, over in Las Vegas. They all have Ripley's Believe It or Not museums. And at those places, you can find those stories and find out how loved and how popular, like Mr. Thompson. The guy was 9 foot tall. He couldn't fit into any normal building. But as big as he was one of the kindest people you'd ever want to meet. You know, and one of the reasons why Mr. Hughes, the heavy guy, was so famous for his holler is because he liked to sing at church.
wow.
Can you tell that I have a master's in useless trivia?
You're very interesting. You're very smart. I can see that. Um, but I'm glad that you came on my show. I mean, yeah, my show. And by the way,
Hmm.
guys, he's the one that came to me and asked for an interview. So now
Hmm.
he's here. Um,
Well, the
but
reason why I asked Patty is because, when you were on social media earlier today, you said that, hey, I'm looking to do, a live show tonight. I wanted to interview somebody, and you didn't get any response. And it's like, I don't like a void like that. When somebody is asking a very nice question, just like you did, very, would anybody like to talk? I'm going to step up because, it's a case where if nothing else, hey, be bored with me, you know?
well, I appreciate you coming up here, though. I appreciate you doing that. It means a
Well,
lot.
well,
Um,
can I turn the tables a little bit with you?
yeah, fine.
Ask you a couple questions. Okay.
So what we doing? Interviewing each other?
Let's
That's
say it's
fine. Go ahead.
let's all right. Let's say it's practice for my what you had mentioned earlier. Fact Man's Mysteries. Okay, is a play on the phrase "fat man miseries." Okay,
Okay.
I'm a fat man. You ain't going to get me in a cave to save your life. Okay.
Okay.
And the Merrimack Caverns down in Missouri are very famous for a narrow spot called the Fat Man's Misery
Okay.
because it's a bottleneck. And yeah, you got to fold yourself over and squirt yourself through. That ain't going to happen with me. And
Okay.
so I looked at, I'm a very fact based kind of person. I want to debunk everything that I can. And then if it's a ghost, I'm going to say it's a ghost.
Right.
Okay. So just like the guy on Dragnet, just the facts, man. So I came up with Fact Man. And I'm going to go for all kinds of mysteries here. I'm going to go for urban legends. I'm going to go for ghost stories. I'm going to go for, great tragedies like the Jamestown story down there in South America. I'm going to go for, famous disasters like the Titanic, stuff like this.
Yes.
And so I'm hoping that sometime early in 22, you're going to hear me in audio form. I have a favorite podcast network. It's not one of the biggest ones, but it's real easy to work with. It's called Spreaker. It's like speaker only with an R.
Okay.
And Spreaker is a great aggregator. It has all the big talk shows, everything from, you know, um, uh, Cars with the Guys from NPR to Stone Cold Steve Austin, just a great variety of shows. And if I do a YouTube channel, it's going to be the same thing, Fact Man's Mysteries. And
Oh,
I'd
I
like
love
you,
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
whether it's, I have a passion for pro wrestling, I have a passion for useless trivia, history, comedy, clean comedy, you know, even people that work blue, like Richard Pryor, George Carlin, Robin Williams. Those were people that were able. They are people that know the language. They know how to use that F word or the S word in such a way to make you think, not just the shock of it. Okay, and when you watch a lot of the comedy that goes on today, it's not really funny. Why? Because they're too political. They go opposite in a direction. And it's like, I like the silly stuff. I'd like to, I laugh louder at the Three Stooges than I do a late night talk show host.
Right.
Okay.
I like the
And
Three Stooges.
absolutely. Those guys took physical comedy to such an art form. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in a fight with any of those guys. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
Curly Howard, oh my goodness, the guy was only 5'3", but he weighed 280 pounds and he could jump almost 4 feet in the air.
Wow.
The man was an athlete. Okay. There was a sequence that they did in one of the many, they did over 180 of these comedies. It was Curly, Larry, and Moe, leader of the pack. They were doing a bit where they were bad carpenters, and there was a gag where Curly drops a 2x4 right on top of the head of Moe. It really hit him, and it wasn't styrofoam. Okay, they didn't have styrofoam in that day. They had balsa wood. Well, this was a full pine wood 2x4. All 80 pounds of it came down on top of Moe, and it cracked him right in the head. He went down like a ton of bricks, of course. They pull him up, and he is, he's bleeding like a stuck pig. And he goes over, splashes a little water to clean himself up, and he insisted on doing the take again. That's professional.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Just little bits like that, Patty. I think we might have something there, and I would like you and the people that are listening and in the chat. I can't see chat myself, but Wolf and Hound were there earlier, and I would encourage any of the small YouTube channels, hit me up sometime. I would love to talk with you. The other question I had for you, Patty, what kind of tools do you use, okay, when you go on a ghost hunt?
A K2 meter, a RAM pod,
Hmm?
and one of them. I can't think. It's one of them things that it got numbers instead.
Okay.
When a spirit comes around, and the number will spike up.
Okay.
I have that.
Does it measure temperature, or does it measure electronic fields?
It also measures the temperature too.
Very good. And what she's referring to, guys, kind of a paranormal 101 here. A K2 meter measures electrical fields. This is an electrical sourcing material and a tracing sensor. So when you get a field, you can measure the strength in the different colors at the end of the K2 unit, but also you can track it. Okay, especially if you have one that features an audio. The REM pod is based on what is called a geophone. This is a vibration sensor. And so, literally, whatever entity or paranormal activity has to be in contact with those sensors to make it set off. And for the other being a temperature thermometer as well as an EMF meter, you're able to do more things with one tool. I encourage people to do that. For a very short time, I was with an international paranormal group in my own organization that I call the Lobo Project. We do things like a lone wolf our way. We use the scientific method as much as possible. Again, debunk it what you can, what's left, then you can start using the soft skills, things like what do you feel? What do you see? What do you hear? Okay. Patty, have you ever been pinched?
Have ever been what?
Pinched.
Kiss?
No, Pinch. Pinch.
Pitch.
Yeah, like somebody
Ooh.
came up and grabbed you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Go
I
ahead.
have been clawed. I have been hurt. Things have been thrown at me with such force that I had a nail stuck in my shoulder.
Okay.
Okay, I had to get the shots because of the tetanus.
Oh wow.
But I also developed my skills that I was able, because I'm a sensitive, but in a special way. I was talking with you earlier before the show. The ability that I have is the ability to find out the story or the history to connect with whatever that may be, that being in the quotation marks. So if it's a ghost, it's a ghost. If it's a sad situation, I find out why it's so sad. You know, somebody getting shot, somebody got run over, somebody starved to death, whatever it may be. And I'm able to use that ability to complement those tools. And taken together, you come up with a 3D model of what's going on in that location. And I very much encourage people, listen to people like Omar, Mo Sargi, CJ Faison, Jody. You know, all these people, they've learned from big time professionals. You know, the Jason Hawes and the Josh Gates. Okay, they have all the money to be able to get the fancy, you know, lights and sounds, you know, for their tools, but they come away with more experiences when they don't use those tools. Okay.
Not trying to cut you off, but after my show, I would like to call you
Sure.
if you don't mind.
Sure.
I don't know if you're up or not because you're like I'm an hour away, an hour ahead of you.
I'm a night owl because, like I said, 30 years of being a nighttime DJ, I'm kind of used to being up at this time of night.
Okay, well, good. Cause I would like to communicate with you more about things.
Mm-hmm.
But you sound very intelligent, smart. Like something that somebody I would like to you know talk to more about stuff and
Mm-hmm.
hang out with.
Appreciate that.
Um,
And and it's not because I know a lot. You know, book smarts are great, street smarts are great, but maybe mix them together. Become a whole person. Okay, because you know you can know A to Z in the dusty old books that you pull off a shelf saying, "Oh, ghosts happened in this place back in the 1820s," and when you go to that cemetery and nothing happens, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go there before doing any of the research and take a walk through there on a rainy day, see what happens. Listen, look around. read some of the tombstones. You're going to come away with more information. Then when you do the book learning, you do your research, and suddenly those stories start popping up at you. And Patty, you had a plan when you get to Pennsylvania. What are you going to do?
Oh, my plan is we're going to investigate a lot of places.
And you're going to go gangbusters now, ain't you?
Yes.
That's the way to approach things. Guys, always have a positive outlook on whatever's going on. Even if something bad happens during an investigation, you get scratched, a nail gets stuck in your shoulder. I wasn't angry, at the entity. I was angry at myself because I let myself in for it. Okay.
Right.
You go in there prepared. You go in there with, shall we say, both spiritual, psychic, and educational armor. You can handle these situations. I've been very lucky, and I have faced down some very bad things. I have witnessed pure evil. I
Yeah, me
have.
too.
I'm talking. I'm talking old Hob himself. Okay. And and it was in a church of all places. Okay. And I had an angel that appeared at the very last minute, total different experience. And it was a protection for me, but the communication came out that it was already there and the protection was already there. I had prepared myself properly to face off against that ultimate evil. And I can tell you that I'd never want to be in that presence ever again. It was the coldest, slimiest, most chilling uh, experience. And I was fully awake, I was fully lucid, and the entire sequence took place in less than 2 minutes. And the effect of the face off between the angelic and the demonic there was so hard that the next morning the pastor came into the building along with me. When we inspected the place, there were cracks in the area where the face off had taken place that had not been there the day before.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I have ghost stories too. Honestly, I've
mm-hmm,
had the gift since
mm-hmm,
I was 7 years old. I've
mm-hmm,
seen them, I've heard them,
yep,
and of course, at an age I didn't understand. You know what I mean? But
mm-hmm,
when I turned 16. My grandmother had told me that I have the gift, and I inherited from my great
mm-hmm,
great great uncle.
yep,
And back then in the days, I've seen all kinds of spirits. I mean, I still do now, but not as like I used to in the days.
mm-hmm,
Um, I remember when I used to live in this house with me and my, ex-husband and my
mm-hmm.
children, and we just, got the house and we just rented it, and um, you don't mind me telling you, do you?
Absolutely not. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, we were cleaning before we moved in.
Mm-hmm,
So me and my daughter, my ex-husband, my mother, we all cleaned the house. And as we were leaving the house to go get, some stuff for our house, my daughter goes, "Mom, look, look, look." So I turned around, and there was a man, like a person, like a real person,
mm-hmm,
in my attic, up in the house with black beard, mustache, and he had a black, like a black suit or something.
mm-hmm.
Um, and the history of the house is we did not know until maybe about a month after we moved in. A guy had killed himself in the house and the living room floor.
Oh my.
And I didn't know that. You know what I mean? We did not know that
Mm-hmm,
until after we moved in. So we were thinking it might have been him, because he was he killed himself on my living room floor.
Right.
But then that night we heard me and my grandmother was laying on the floor because we didn't have a bed yet, and we were
Right.
hearing baby cries. Like we were hearing a baby cry, and we were hearing like footsteps and stuff. And I knew right then and then it was definitely my house was haunted. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was the guy that killed himself, but it wasn't. I found out later who it was. Um, I actually went into the restroom and used the restroom, and I heard like a low voice, and get out like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to ignore it because I didn't want to get freaked out. And again, it got a little bit louder to get out, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I just said, you know what, I'm hearing things, okay. The
Mm-hmm.
third time it's to get out now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as I was going by, I didn't get, I just pulled out my pants. I didn't give a shit. It kind of freaked me out a little bit, but I
Mm-hmm.
walked as I was running towards the door in my bedroom. I kid you not. Some people may not believe me, but it's the truth. I have no reason to lie. But I kid you not, I saw the demon himself, the original self, and
Mm-hmm.
it scared the shit out of me.
Absolutely.
Um, because he was not, he was scary,
Mm-hmm.
and he looked creepy. Like, oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
So we moved out after 6 months living there because that place was too bad, man. We couldn't be there no more.
You can tell that there is a design to a place that will, shall we say, they call it the stone tape, where
Okay.
it records, the very ground records what happens. You remember the story of Cain and Abel in the good book, okay?
Okay.
That when the Almighty came to ask where Abel was, Cain lied and said, "Well, I don't know. I'm not my brother's keeper." And when the Almighty looked around, he says, "No, no, you're wrong, because the very ground and the rocks around you are crying out because of what happened right here. What did you do?" And that's where it came out. When you were in that place, you were experiencing all the bad things that had taken place before you moved in. And when stuff like that happens, I've been in a similar farmhouse. I unfortunately not 6 months. We ended up just short of 7 years. That was an experience that I will never want to repeat, but it was an enriching in its way. It was a unique learning experience. If nothing else, you learn what not to do, and it's you learn spiritual survival as well as physical. And I would encourage any in the audience that if you've had one of those kind of experiences like Patty, like myself, where you have a physical interaction with something, don't look to repeat it. Okay. Understand it and see if you can do better than that experience. Okay. Instead of getting a nail in the shoulder, maybe that next time I can have it interact with me and answer some questions. Okay. CJ does it right. He's very methodical. Omar does it right. When you watch the big guys like that, benchmark it. Okay. Jody's been doing this for how long? 15 years. Okay. This man, he knows his stuff. Okay. Uh, Taro and T, Fluffy, those are people, great couple, good folks. I consider them brother and sister, sister of another mister and a brother of another mother. Okay. And Patty, you're a sister of another mister to me. Okay. This community needs to rely and learn from each other strengthen each other. No more of this politicking, no more of this up and down, butter side up, butter side down, us against them. Forget all that noise. That's what it is. It's noise. Ignore the trolls, ignore the critics, do your job that you want to do. Patty, you're doing good. Keep doing it. Okay? You still there, Patty?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. My bad. Yeah, but I appreciate you, so much on that. I try to do the best I can. I've been doing this for a year and a half,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked so hard. And I am not gonna lie. Oh my gosh, TV helped me get a little bit where I'm at too. He was part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I did the rest myself. And Jody, when he put me in his
Mm-hmm.
video, you know what I mean. A lot of people, thought I was cool, so they just subscribed to my channel. And from
Mm-hmm.
that moment on, I've been doing it. I've been doing the best I can.
Right. It's not about the numbers. It's not about how
No,
many it's not
no,
about how many views you get. It's not about how much audience that you had in that time part or anything like that. Forget
right.
the as I was told a long time ago, stop examining how many speeds you got on the bike. Get on it and ride. You know?
I agree.
And and I'll tell you, I use that as one of my favorite benchmarks, and I for as much as my life has gone up and it's gone down, it's gone left and right and
Right.
sideways. I'm living my life, and I can only say it can only get better. At your worst, guys, everything's up from here. You know,
Right.
and in fact, in the time that we have left, about what 10 minutes, Patty.
Okay.
I was going to ask, does any of the people in chat or anybody in the audience that has talked to you before, do they have any questions?
Do you guys have any questions for TC? If so, go ahead and ask him. Can you see the chat?
I can't see chat, unfortunately.
Okay, I'll tell you then. If anyone has any questions for him, go ahead. She said 52 years, 52 years here.
Well, that's fantastic. A lot. I appreciate everybody that made time.
And she said she don't say much about it, but she should.
For the audience, I can give you an encouragement. You're watching here, like, subscribe, share. And that last one is very key. It's all free, takes only a few seconds, like Jody Dean likes to say. But at the same time, sharing out what Patty does, she's top shelf entertainment, guys. She can read a cereal box and be entertaining. Okay. Not that I encourage you to do that, but but Patty, you do it good. Keep doing it. And for others, maybe they can be inspired by you. Maybe you can be inspired by them.
Right.
That's what I mean by working together. We're one community. We're not a bunch of us against them. And hey, maybe beginning of spring, when Fact Men's Mysteries becomes a reality, not just words off my tongue. Maybe some people might look in and say, "Ah, I remember that guy from Patty," and I think that would be a very great compliment.
Eventually, with Beth said, how long have you been active in the paranormal?
I have been active in the paranormal for approximately 15 years, and I have personally been sensitive to the paranormal all my life.
Like you can feel the energy and you can feel the presence,
Mhm.
all that.
Yeah, the first one that I can remember off the top of my head is that I remember at the age of 3, Well, I was a toddler, so even younger. I was playing in the basement of the house that I grew up in a small town just south of the metro here, just a few miles away. But we had not constructed the main floor of the house, so we were living in what you would call the basement. And as I'm playing, I'm by myself. My mother had stepped into what became the laundry room. It was the kitchen at the time, and she's putting together dinner. She claimed that she heard footsteps coming in from the east side entrance. That's the back door to the building, down into the basement. And she thought it was her husband, my stepfather. And she heard me interact with whoever it was, no answer in return to my inquiries. And then she heard the footsteps going back up and closes the door. She came in, and I was pretty, I talked pretty good for early age. She asked me, well, who was that? I said, brown man. And she goes, a brown man? Yeah, brown man, thin, had a big nose. Well, it turned out that the property that we were on was the east bank of a former creek bed in that small town that had flooded repeatedly, and it was called Sugar Creek. And Sugar Creek had an Indian village that was part of the family that included Black Hawk, famous for the Black Hawk War.
Oh, wow.
And you can look that up in on Wikipedia. And it turned out that they had found Indian bones in the construction of that basement. So whoever that brown man with the big nose was nobody that they knew, but had literally walked down and was nice to this little white kid. And my mom never let me out of her sight until the house was built. And that was when
Wow.
that's when I was 3.
She wants to know what are your gifts.
Okay. The story behind a paranormal event, that's called psychometry, not psychiatry. I also have the ability of some clairvoyance. I'm not perfect with it. I also have the ability for telling when someone has an illness. That one I really don't like using because it bothers me. Because when I see a person who, to me, they look fine until they turn in such a way and they have open sores all over them. They show the injury that they will have. And sometimes that's really, really scary to me.
Oh, wow. I guess so.
Oh, yeah. Demonic possession. I was sitting in the middle of a Mexican restaurant with my stepfather, and I was buying him a birthday dinner. And it was an extremely popular place, very crowded. I mean, literally, we were elbows and knees hitting the next person over. And 5 gentlemen that were sitting at a table just behind and to the right of my father. Everything's buzzing, very noisy. He can hardly hear me over the table. Suddenly, I hear a very loud conversation about taking my stepfather and beating him to death and robbing him. That they were going to do this, that, and the other thing to me, and then take my life. And when I looked over to the individual who was running his mouth at the time, because I was going to stand up and have a 5-knuckle conversation with the gentleman, his eyes were pure black.
Oh, my.
Yeah, and this is in the middle of dozens of people. I got very, very cold at that point. And I said, Dad, we're leaving. And so I gathered him up. We doggy bagged the rest of my dinner, and as soon as we got out to the car, the five gentlemen came out and stood in a row at the corner of the building in the middle of the parking lot, getting honked at by passersby watching us, and they wouldn't move until after we took off.
Wow. She said you can help with that knowledge.
True. I try where I can. And always
Well,
remember. Yep, we buzzed through an entire hour already.
right.
Well, Patty, you're a very kind host, and I think that you have you encourage a guy like me with a well-oiled tongue, but it's a case where my dad would call. He was very he was from a very tiny town in South Dakota, so they had unique ways of metaphors and colloquial language. He said I talk like a physic woodpecker, you know. But Patty, you ask the right questions in such a way that you encourage stories. That's a wonderful ability. Please keep building on that.
You're
Was
a
there
very
any other?
awesome guy. You really are.
Well, I appreciate that. And was there any other questions from the chat?
Um, I have a lot. Like to add, but typing isn't easy. Oops, laugh out loud. Yeah, I know that's right. um, so it's like you got a lot going on with you. You know what I mean? You're pretty cool. And even though you ain't got your own, videos, but you are, you have a lot of experience with you know what I mean, the spirits and stuff,
Hmm.
and that's actually cool. I'm so glad that you came on my channel.
A pleasure. And if you have any shows on UFOs, urban legends, a good friend of ours, Nubs, uh, guys, if you get a chance to tune into Adventures with Nubs, he will give you some excellent entertainment, and it's all based on the same kind of lore that I operate with.
Yeah,
And
he subscribed to my channel. I'm subscribed to him.
mm,
I know who he is.
absolutely, Patty.
If you ever want to, hold on. Have you thought about using your abilities to help others?
I the reason I'm around as long as I am, and I mentioned this to you, Patty, before the show.
Yeah.
I operate with this bottom line. This is my credo. This is what I live for every day. When I wake up, I want to make a positive difference for somebody, whether it's myself, a stranger, family member, a friend that I call family, whoever it is. If I make them smile, groan, if I make them walk away shaking their head, they've at least been influenced, and I hope for the better, from what I do. If nothing
Yeah.
else, if I'm involved with them, they at least know what not to do in that given situation.
She wants to know, do you have an active channel?
I have an active channel. It's under my name. It's Yodeling Mime HTD 309, and that last part is hunting the dead because I like Jody.
Yeah, I know.
And
I know what that is. Hundred Dead. Yeah, I used to have that
yeah,
here.
and 309 is my area code. So it's a case where, hey, if you hear me say hi from the 309, that's where I'm talking about.
Well, I don't know if I mod him or not because Do you know how to put your link in here?
Um, I don't think so. Like I say, this is the longest I've gone without getting booted from StreamYard. So I don't,
Yeah.
I don't want to hit the wrong button.
Right. He just said it's right down at the bottom of his picture guide. That's the name of his channel.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So if you ever
Well,
want to interview me, you're more than welcome whenever you want to.
absolutely. And like I said, guys, I'll be doing an audio version of Fact Man's Mysteries coming up on Spreaker. The full video blog, I would probably do that kind of podcast a little bit later in the spring. We're looking at maybe March. The reason why it's going to be that long is because I want to make sure I have everything, taken care of that will go right when I finally hit the air. But I come at this with, like I said, 3 decades of experience on local radio. I was a co-host for 3 years with a stand-up comedian named Jeff Ferguson for Star Trek, as well as Battlestar Galactica. And do you remember Car Talk with the Guys on National Public Radio, Patty?
Yeah.
That's those three guys. That's those three Italian guys that on Sunday would sit there talk everything but car work. They joke around, horse around. That's their show. Well, Sports Talk with the Guys was the show that I helped produce, and that was with the same guys, only they're talking baseball. And that was on podcast1.com. My stuff is still on archive there. And so you can look up Jeff Trek, all one word, and that's the main show that I was part of, and then Sports Talk with the Guys, of course. And if you guys want to hit me up on social media, you can hit me up at Twitter at THE Yodeling Mime, and that is the Yodeling Mime on Twitter. And then I go by my last name first because of the whole comedy guy, Tim Wilson, rest his soul. I am Wilson.Timothy at Facebook.
Yeah, he's hard to find. I can't even find him.
So, if you guys catch me in the chat, I'll definitely be sitting in on some of Patty's streams with Nubs, Fluffy, especially all of our big friends, Omar, of course, Mo. He's having such a time over there in Turkey. It is just absolutely surprising,
Yeah, I know. I know he's in Turkey. Yeah.
Well, you figure he's of the same culture as Turkey, even though, well, he's Arab and they're Turkish, but, they're of the same belief system and culture over there. But he's having such a hard time over there. And I feel bad for him because, he really wanted to have, a wonderful family vacation. And I think he got more out of being down in Dominican Republic than he did so far over in Turkey.
But
But
you guys already follow each other on Twitters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I follow. I subscribed to Omar.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first one I actually subscribed to about 4 years ago.
Yep.
I've known him about 4 or 5 years, but I've met him probably about a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I know him personally. He's a real good friend of mine. I love him to death.
And I can tell you that he's hitting on all cylinders right now. He's got so many irons in the fire. But Tiffany is wonderful. She
Yeah,
is
I
an
met
absolute. She is such a delight, and all of his kids are just like him.
I met Tiffany. I met Boston. I met her
Mm-hmm.
daughter. I met
Mm-hmm.
Omar. Omar dogs.
Luna is an absolute doll. Okay, I tell you, she's a crazy. Was she part poodle And my first dog was a poodle and acts exactly the same way. But definitely pleasure, Patty. And I think that, I'll look forward to talking with you on the phone here after the show.
Yes.
Was there any last questions from the chat?
Omar is how I found YouTube. Yeah, Omar. A lot of people found YouTube because of Omar.
Mhm.
He inspired me so much for me to go out and do what I had to do.
Omar is just like you, Patty. He's such a natural that he could read that cereal box
Yeah.
saying, I just found cornflakes. And 40 minutes later you're still paying attention to him because he's so genuine.
Well,
You
try
know?
meet him in person. Try talking to him. Because when I was at the college for
Hmm.
7 days,
Hmm.
he came over like maybe the second or third day, I believe. And he
Hmm.
stayed with us for 3 hours. I'm talking about, oh man, it was a blast. He did a live when we were there.
Hmm.
Uh, you probably saw that.
Oh yeah. And I really appreciated that he took the time to do that. I saw you were so nervous at first,
Yeah.
but you got to laughing and you came out of your shell, and that's what Omar likes to do. He wants to be, you know he wants to be genuine with you. You're
Oh,
not,
yeah.
you're not a fan, you're a person, you know and it's like, I would like to shake his hand. I would like to shake Jody's. I'd like to shake yours. I'd like to shake Wolf and Hounds, Bat Rican. Bat Rican is only 2 hours from me, and I've been pestering him. Get your Batman loving butt down here, and we'll watch the Batman together when it comes out in March. You know,
Yeah.
you know.
I'll have to meet you.
Oh yeah. There's going to be a time and a place.
Maybe you can come
And
down in Pennsylvania sometimes.
well, I believe it or not, I have been only as far east as Buffalo, and that's the only time I've been on a plane, and hopefully that'll be the last time I've ever been on a plane.
Yeah, I don't
It
take planes either.
it wasn't the height; it was what was going on inside the plane.
Oh,
I'll
wow.
I'll save that for another time. Uh,
Okay.
all any Kevin and Karen story that you could think of was all happening in that plane all at once. Okay,
Wow.
and that's just the scratching the surface. But anyway, as you guys can tell, I have a sense of humor, hopefully funny one for you. If not, But it's a case where I like dad humor. I like a little bit of blue. If it's used right. Remember the Richard Pryors and Robin
Yeah.
Williams.
Yeah.
But it's a case where Patty. I love looking at the whimsy and the silly side of life. There's nothing wrong with an 80-year-old man sitting there with a Groucho Marx nose on his face, and his grandkids are running around him just laughing up the storm.
Right.
That they have no clue who Groucho Marx is, but he's playing with the kids and he's having a great time.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
that's we need more of that. And if there was any last message I could say to people, just be kind. Even when nobody's around, just be kind.
Yeah.
Hold the door for somebody. Say please and thank you. Leave a little extra for the waitress or waiter. Do something nice today.
I have a
Because
good heart, so I know what it's like to be nice to somebody.
absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, I'm when you get me going, I'll be as ornery as a bunch of bees in a pillowcase.
Right.
Remind me to tell you that story sometime. But but
Yeah.
but Patty, I have had a lot of fun here, and I'm looking forward to talking with you later. And to everybody in the chat, thank you. Happy New Year to you. God bless you. And
You too, sweetie.
if yep, and if you ascribe to any other belief system, please, again, just be kind. Remember, we're all same people. We put our pants on the same, and we're looking for 2022 and no more of this bull crap that we've had in
Right.
2021.
Well, I thank you for coming on our show tonight. I appreciate it.
Well,
You're
you
awesome, and hopefully you'll be coming on here more. You know what I mean? On my lives.
anytime, just give me the word.
Okay. Well, and guys, that's welcome here. That's you know, he's a real good guy. So I'm pretty sure half of y'all know him because I'm pretty sure you follow him on Twitter because he knows Nub and Fluffy and all them. So I'm sure y'all know him. Um, Omar and Jody and. But thank you for coming, and you're more than welcome here anytime.
Very much appreciate it, Patty. Looking forward to talking to you soon.
Okay. Okay, guys, you can come on up now. You can come up if you want, Garrett and Beth. But that was a good interview. He's very interesting. He's a good guy, that's for sure. Everybody still here? He's very interesting, wasn't he, guys? He was very cool. So, well, guys, we got like 2 more days for New Year's Eve. Well, at least I do. I don't know about some people had different dates, but mine's in 31st. So I'm staying home for New Year's Eve. That's about it. Thank you all for coming too. I appreciate it. Garrett, you still there? Yeah, that's gonna be the last interview for this year. I'll do some more next year. But if anybody wants to interview for next year, let me know on Twitter's. Uh, I'm gonna change my interviews up a little bit. I'm gonna do more than paranormal interviews. I'm gonna do paranormal videos live like what he just did tonight, podcast, stuff like that. I'm gonna mix it up. It's gonna be all kind of interviews. It's gonna be different ones. So if you're a podcast or paranormal or anything like that, UFOs, um, Bigfoot, anything like that, it doesn't matter. I'm all for it. And if you want to be on my show, on my live, for me to interview you, you're more than welcome. Not an issue. I'll be more than happy to do people, interview people with about UFOs or Bigfoot or, you know, Josie Devil, anything that you're interested in, I would be more than love to interview anybody like that. Paranormal doesn't matter. That was a really awesome interview. Like, I mean, that was pretty awesome. I mean, for just not only paranormal, I mean, that was awesome. Uh, he did a really good job on that interview. He definitely is a sweetheart. But as I said, if you want to be a part of my show, and you know what I mean, about anything you're interested in, paranormal, whatever, a NASCAR driver or anything, music or anything like that, as long as there's no music playing on my channel, you know what I mean? But I'm down with that. I'm an open book, you know what I mean? I'm an open book. I listen to everybody's story, no matter what. I just listen because that's who I am. I love to listen to people. I love to, you know, talk to them when they need someone to talk to. I was told that I should be a counselor or a psychiatrist, but I won't do it. I just do it. I just do it because I love that person. I don't want. I do it because I feel like doing it. But guys, this channel here is awesome, man. It just seems like it's getting better and better and better on my channel, man. I mean, it's not just all. I mean, I'm not just all about paranormal either. I mean that what I done my whole life, since I was 7. You know what I mean? I'm very sensitive, and you know what I mean. I can feel the presence or the energy or whatnot, the sadness or the madness or the angriness. I can feel it all. Um, but you guys are more than welcome on my channel anytime. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. But if anyone wants to talk about something right now, you're more than welcome to come on here on my panel and talk to me, or you can say or comment in the chat. Um, I'm here. That's just who I am. I'm a kind-hearted woman with a beautiful soul. In my book, I'm awesome. I'm unique, special. Uh, I am smart sometimes. um, I could be uh mean sometimes, but I don't want to be mean. That's not who I am. Who I am is that I have a beautiful, kind heart. As all, you know what I mean. I have a beautiful heart. I love everyone. If I have it, I will help if I can. Just like I went, this morning and I donated money to that little 10-year-old girl that had cancer. I don't know if y'all heard about that or not, but I did donate money to the fund GoFundMe, and anytime, and if I got it, I will help. You know what I mean? Hey Kim, but you guys, if you knew any of my friends, they tell you that I'm the kindest woman there would be. You know what I mean? I just don't. I mean, it's awesome. You know what I mean? Um, well, Happy New Year's Eve Day. Happy New Year's Day, then. That's awesome, Kim. Mine is the 31st. I ain't going nowhere, though. I'm staying home. But, um, guys, I was pretty much raised with a beautiful heart, soul, and mind. Um, One thing I do, though, the one thing I don't like, though, for real, and all jokes to the side, let's be real a minute. I do not like when people disrespect people. I don't like when people disrespect spirits or disrespect anybody. I don't like that. Um, Thank you, Kim. Um, I don't like hate. I don't like when people hate because this world is not for hate. This world is for love, like, and share. I mean, not share, love, like, and positivity. That's what this channel is all about. My channel is all about love, light, and positivity. That's it. You know what I mean? That's all I want my channel to be. Or interviews, people, or you know what I mean? I do paranormal videos as well. I know I haven't done none lately because, well, Columbus, Ohio sucks on paranormal. So I'm going to be going when I go to Pennsylvania when I do more. You know what I mean? I promise you all that. But guys, I was told, you know how many people calls me up and says, Patty, I need someone to talk to. Can you talk to me? They always call me because they know I talk to people. They know I listen. I don't downgrade nobody. I don't judge nobody. I don't call them names. You know what I mean? I do. Because no one has the right to judge. You know what I mean? So I feel like this. Everybody's a human being. Everybody has issues in their life. People have problems. They deal with people's struggles. Nobody's perfect. Everybody's, just they live somewhere. They live different than others. You know what I mean? But the thing is, though, I don't like to be mean to people because I hate that. But me though, I'm unique. I tell people the truth. I be honest with everybody. I don't like to lie. I'm not dishonest. I tell people the truth. I don't Lying don't get you nowhere but trouble. You know what I mean? And I was raised not to lie no matter what. Even if it hurts someone's feelings, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But you can't hold it inside either because if you do, it'll cause damage to your heart. So I would rather come out and tell the truth. Not trying to not trying to hurt no one, not trying to be mean to anyone. I'm just an honest person. I straight up tell the truth. You know what I mean? And that's just who I am. You know what I mean? I've always been like that, and I can't change that. You know what I mean? I can't change who I am. You know what I mean? Because somebody don't like it or whatnot. But um, that's just who I am. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to change me, but nobody can change who I am. You know what I mean? I am who I am. I have a beautiful heart, soul, and mind. You know, that's why they call me princess. You know what I mean? That's why, as you see, it says Princess Peppermint Patty's haunted because someone told me I was a princess, and you know what? That made me feel so good inside that I legit told myself I am a princess. Regardless who likes it and who don't. I am a princess in my book. I have a beautiful soul. I'm unique. You know, and I know I'm the most beautiful, kindest, unique personality, good sense of humor of a woman. And, you know what I mean? I am there for anybody I can, you know? It's okay, Papa, but it was pretty good, Papa. It was pretty good. It actually came out pretty good. He's a one sweetheart man, I tell you. But now I'm talking about me. You know what I mean? Because talking to him, talking to TC, got me thinking. You know what I mean? I'm a good woman with a beautiful heart and soul and mind. You know what I mean? Stand up and be who I am. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up and be who I am and who I was always born to be. You know what I mean? I was born to be a beautiful, kindest woman in the world with a beautiful soul. That's why they call me princess. Some people may not think I'm a princess, but in my book, I'm 100% a princess. Sooner or later, I'm going to be a queen. Oh, I know I'm awesome. I'm very awesome, Papa. I already know. I'm a very kind, loving, caring woman with a beautiful, unique soul, mind, a good sense of humor, personality great in my book, intelligent, smart. Hell, I'm awesome. I know I'm gorgeous, Papa. Yes, I know I'm very gorgeous. And you know what? I'm proud to be gorgeous. I'm proud to have a beautiful heart and soul and mind. That's right. 2021 down the drain. Here comes 2022, and a whole new year for Princess Patty, Peppermint Patty, Princess Peppermint Patty. Gonna be a whole new year for me. Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that, Papa. I agree with you on that. Yeah, I'm glad I met y'all in 2021. Even though it was struggle, but you know what I mean? We got through it, and that's what matters. We'll get through another year. We're strong people, so we'll get through another year. I promise you that. I'm not the only one, Gotham. I'm not the only one cool and rock. So are you guys. All you guys are awesome too. Every last one of you came on tonight on my interview and stuff. Definitely awesome. Oh, Papa, I wish I can give you a hug too, buddy. But yeah, you guys are very awesome. I'm not the only one awesome, so are y'all. You guys rock. But I think that it's time for me to have a new revelation, and that's going to be who I am and who I was born to be and who I always will be. My new year is going to be all about the Patty that used to be, the Patty that was in the back of the days. A good-hearted, kind, loving, caring, respectable, unique, special, intelligent, gorgeous peppermint patty. You know what I mean? I agree, Papa. We have gotten close. We all have. I agree. I'm glad I met y'all too. I know I shouldn't be bragging about myself, but I, I should. It is what it is. I know I'm gorgeous. I know I'm a princess. I know I'm soon to be a queen. I know I'm unique. I know I'm special. I know that I have a good heart, soul, and mind. Intelligent, smart, beautiful, gorgeous woman in the world, in my book. And I appreciate you all being there. I'm doing good, Laura. How are you, sweetheart? When I go to Pennsylvania, that's when it all gonna begin. I'm gonna be going to the Demon House. That's the first place we're gonna go to. Like I said, we're gonna travel a lot. We're gonna be going different places. Hillview Manor, Penhurst, Shanlin Hotel, Stanley Hotel. Um, we're gonna be going to some bridges, some tunnels, some cemeteries, uh, bed and breakfast hotels, um, hospital bandits. We're gonna be going everywhere. So that's my next big thing. Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is gonna be my next big thing. That's when everybody's gonna see a whole new Patricia. The whole new Princess Patty. Oh, I'll be alright, Laura. I'll be okay. That's what we do. That's what paranormal do. You know what I mean? You can't be scared. Thank you, Papa. And like I said, I'm gonna be changing my looks. Everything's gonna be different. My whole new life gonna be different. You're gonna be seeing me wear makeup, hair done. It's gonna be a whole new world for me. Really? You know that song, The Whole New World? That's me. The whole new turkey balls. 'Cause I don't need your turkey balls. 'Cause these turkey balls don't mean a thing. I got neon balls running to my veins. 'Cause we don't need no turkey balls. That's right, turkey balls. Cause these turkey balls don't mean a thing. This has been a great year to learn you guys though. Mm. Yeah, it's gonna be a whole new world. But when I go to Pennsylvania, I'm gonna be asking people, what kind of prank videos I can do and what they want me to do when I go on my investigation, like alone challenges or light out challenges, anything like that. Do you know when I go to Shanley Hotel in New York, I am gonna go in the basement and do a 30-minute alone challenge, and I'm gonna do a lie down challenge at the same time. Turkey tacticals. Well, let's see. I don't need your turkey tacticals because your turkey tacticals don't mean a thing. I got neon turkey tacticals running through my veins. Cause I don't need your turkey tactical balls. I hope everybody Christmas was good. I wish. You know what would be nice if a radio station, shouted me out, shouted my channel out. That'd be nice. Yeah, that's cool. I used to listen to the radio, but I'm so close to 1K, guys. I'm 100. I mean 100. 976, man. So close. I know one thing. When I get that 1K, I'm gonna be so excited. I'm gonna be jumping up and down, and I'm gonna celebrate as soon as I get 1K. My favorite food is Italian. I love Italian. Hey, Sarah. No, I don't like it. I don't like spicy food. Sometimes they're not spicy. Papa, I did send you a message on Twitter. Asked if you're interested in me interviewing you one day. Well, that's because you like spicy food. I don't. That you do. Right? That's cool, Sarah. Almost 50. Hey, oh. Awesome. You get this, all right, guys, I'm gonna get off here, and I love y'all. Thanks for coming. Have a good night. Be safe, and like and share and everything. All that good stuff. Be safe.